What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a bit, but I'm back here to kind of talk over what to expect heading into Season 4 as a Warlock. So first off, let's just kind of talk about what has changed between Season 1 and Season 4. So back in Season 1, Affliction was pretty much the only viable Warlock spec. Destro and Demo seemed pretty undertuned, and it was just heavily dominant in Affliction, both in Mythic Plus and in Raid. So this time around, let's kind of go through Karazhan and just talk about some of the fights and what we can expect to be playing on them. So for Karazhan, a majority of the raid was single target fights. Shriekwing, single target, Artificer, Hungering Destroyer, Lady Nerva, Sludge Fist, and Sire were mostly single target fights. But this time around, on like Shriekwing, we can probably play Demo or Affliction. Huntsman, you can probably play all three specs, since Destro probably gets a lot of value, specifically Kyrian Destro, because that wasn't really a thing that we played back in Karazhan in Season 1. Sun King is probably a Demo or Destruction fight. Probably still Destruction. We will see what happens after the nerfs to the tier set and stuff, but most likely a Destruction fight again. Artificer, probably a Demo or Affliction fight, since it's all pure single target. Hungering, same thing, probably single target, so you're just going to be playing Demo or Affliction. Lady Nerva, you can probably play all three specs. It is mostly a single target fight, however there are periodic adds, very similar to Desogni is right now. So Kyrian Destro can also get a lot of value on that fight. Council is an interesting fight. It's set up really weird. So like it's mostly a single target fight because you're only single targeting one of the three bosses down at a time. However, there are a lot of little adds and there's a lot of cleave going around. So this could be a Destro fight, specifically Kyrian Destro, because you can cleave off of the little adds and get a lot of soul shard value. And if not that, then probably just a demonology fight. Progressing this as Affliction back in the day was kind of tough because of low haste values, and there was like a lot of things to dot, and it was kind of a nightmare of a fight. But hopefully this time around it's not as annoying. Sludge Fist, pure single target. Most likely playing Demo here, but Affliction could also get some pretty crazy value. We'll have to see how the timings line up. When we were progressing this originally in Karazhan, Dark Lair was a 3-minute cooldown. So this is now, since Dark Lair is now a 2-minute cooldown, we'll have to see how it lines up with each pillar. It might actually leave room for maybe a Corrupting Leer, where we reduce our cooldown, so that way every single minute we potentially have, a pillar. So we have a Dark Lair for every pillar. So that might be something interesting to kind of test around with. Stone Legion, have no idea on this one. This fight was super annoying, and don't really know how it's going to be tuned around. I always played Affliction on it. I'm probably going to continue to play Affliction on it. It's a lot of burning down single targets, so you can either play Demo or AF, I would guess. Destruction could be okay too, but we'll kind of have to see how the fight plays out. And then on Sire, it's probably going to be a Demo or Affliction fight. The only problem with Demo is your pet cannot attack the adds on other platforms because there's a giant hole in the middle of the platform. So we'll have to see how that interaction works if they end up fixing it at all. Because you do lose a lot of DPS if your Felguard cannot hit your targets, right? So we'll have to see how that plays out. Going to Sanctum, we're probably going to see a lot of the same things as we saw when you were progressing. Terragru, pure single target, can be any of the specs, honestly. It kind of depends on the powers that you get. Eye of the Jailer was a super good destruction fight early on. The 9 was really, really strong for Demo because it was like stat cleave. Remnant was super good for Destro before they really nerfed it. We'll have to see how easy the fight is now, but back when Sanctum first started, the orbs actually had a lot more health and they were a lot harder to kill. And I don't know if they counted on death, so Kyrian Destro could get a lot of value here also, just because if the orbs do count and they give you soul shard resets and the buff and etc. Soul Render, probably a Demo or Destro fight. Painsmith, Demo or Destro. Guardian of the first one's pure single target, so Affliction or Demo. Fate Scribe, you can probably play all 3 specs on, honestly. This fight is pretty versatile for all 3 specs, and you can kind of get value out of any of them. Probably Demo or Destruction are probably the better 2, but you could probably play Affliction and get away with it on it. Kel'Thuzad is a super sick Affliction fight with Wrath of Consumption and just keeping up that buff and doing a lot of single target to the boss. And Sylvanas is most likely a Demo fight. However, when I progressed this originally, I just played Affliction. And through Sepulture, you know, not much has changed. You can probably play Demo or Destro for majority of it. And if you feel like playing AF on some of the single target fights like Dysogny or Halandris, or you can probably get away with that also. Looking to Mythic Plus, things are pretty different because this time around we are having, you know, dungeons from Legion, Worlds, Draenor, and Shadow. Where is it? Karazhan. And we'll have to see how kind of this is tuned. Upper Karazhan was pretty much single target. There was not a lot of trash. You started at Curator. You kind of went down as mostly single target. So this could be a good Demo or Affliction key just because there's so little trash. But lower Karazhan was pretty interesting because there was so much trash, so you're going to want a lot of AoE. Could be a Destruction or a Demo kind of play here. Well, once again, we'll just have to see how bad their nerfs are to Destruction, because they did say they are planning on reducing the tier set and kind of nerfing that pretty hard for Season 4, so we'll have to see there. And for Mechagon, similar thing. Upper Mechagon was mostly single target. There was trash, but it was a lot of big single target trash. So it might be like just the play to play Demo here, and might just be playing Destruction on the lower part of Mechagon, just because there is like a lot of trash and moving around throughout the dungeon. And then we're looking to WoD. We have Grimrail Depot and Iron Docks, and honestly, not really sure what to expect here. Like, these dungeons we're gonna have to test out a lot of because these weren't ever tested in Mythic Plus because there wasn't Mythic Plus back then. So we'll have to see how the bosses are tuned, how the dungeon is tuned, and kind of see from there. But yeah, Season 4 should be cool. It's a good break, I would say. It's not a competitive season, you know. You get to try some things out. You get to play specs you want to play. The good thing is right now Warlock is in a pretty good spot. All 3 specs are good. The buff to Affliction made it, you know, pretty decent when it comes to single target and even 2 target cleave. Not so much for Mythic Plus. I don't think we'll see any Affliction Mythic Plus, but in terms of raid, I mean, all 3 specs are viable. When it comes to keys, Demo and Destro will still be really, really good. Probably be, you know, one of the higher damage classes still, just because Demonology hasn't been touched. The nerf to Demonic Consumption was a pure single target nerf, but we'll have to see how the Destruction nerfs play out, and yeah, just a season to have fun in. It'll be a nice break to kind of chill and try stuff out for before Dragon Flight comes out. And once the talent calculator comes out for Warlock, I will definitely be looking over that. But yeah, that's kind of it for me. Not too much to talk about left. Hope you all enjoy Season 4. You know, have some fun with it. And I'll see you in the next one.